wars have been won with honor, strength.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. We're the Goons. We do things our way. Hit it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
When I hear honor, I say, who gives a fuck? We do anything to win.
I'll strangle you with my stick. Victory.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'll pull you in close and give you a jolt like you've never felt before.
It's Whirly time!
I get my opponent wasted. Chug. I'd rather just hotbox the entire arena.
Sometimes you just gotta run! You know the moral of the story? We have no morals. Do what it takes to win.
6, 7, 8.
We are the Goons of Balatroon. Get your Goon card packs and win your war.
I don't even know what cryptocurrency is, bro. I just feel could I buy an NFT with it, or is it like robot pennies? Like, I don't even know, dude.
And we are back, joined with Matt, as you know him from the Goons of Balatroon, Beagle. If you're in the community, Matt, how's it going? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's excellent to be with you guys today. Very excited to sit down and have a conversation with you guys. Nice to speak with you all again.
Yeah, definitely. Excited to have you on. The Goons, I mean, I don't know if you can see our wall, but we got some of the Goons from the team, some that friends and family sent in for us to highlight. Most of these are mine up there, but
All right, you don't need to flex on them, Shane. You don't need to flex on them.
the big ones are mine.
There you go. Yeah, I was looking at that when we were getting set up. I love it. The artwork is so good on it. They make good pieces.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, let's kick this off. So, yeah, tell us a little bit. Tell us about your background, how you got involved with the Goons of Balatroon, and what you're doing for the project as of right now.
Absolutely. So, you have a lot of people who kind of break into Web3 via more traditional means. I'm a case study in that. I started off just traditional investing is how I went down the rabbit hole of crypto and NFTs. Traditional investing, stocks, pretty vanilla stuff like that. And then the GameStop, AMC blew up, and it was a ton of fun, ton of money to be made. I jumped into that. Kind of went down the rabbit hole. Of course, once you get into that sort of degen stuff, you start looking for more. Started poking around with crypto. Wasn't real sure about it. Half the people say it's a scam. Other people claim it's the next big thing. Went down that rabbit hole. One thing led to another. I heard Journey Crypto talking about NFTs on a podcast, something about Bored Ape Yacht Club at 0.1 ETH, whatever that was. They just were some, gorillas. Picture of a gorilla. I wasn't really sure about it.
Who's going to pay 0.1 ETH for a board?
Yeah, I mean, you do the calculations. Well, what is that for a picture of a monkey? And the more I got immersed in the entire culture of it in NFT Twitter, you start to realize maybe that 0.1 ape was a steal, and you just didn't see it before your eyes. So I got myself kind of immersed in not just crypto, but also started to dabble in NFTs. Couple months went by, and now those 0.1 Bored Apes were a little bit more expensive. They were 1 ETH, and I stumbled upon a giveaway for one of them because I understood what they were now. One thing led to another. That giveaway was being held by the current team of the Goons of Balatroon. Hopped into their community Discord, started cutting it up with them. They were an amazing group of very genuine people, always looking out for their community. I reached out to Mark, one of the co-founders, and I said, "Hey, man, do you need any help with anything? If you ever need any help, let me know." He said, "Yeah, absolutely. You can do some unofficial mod work." One thing led to another, and now community manager for Goons of Balatroon, having a ton of fun and watching an amazing product being built.
It's crazy because so many of us were brought into this with everything that happened with Wall Street bets, AMC, GameStop. That's what really got me into like investing in general. And then naturally, your interest just peaks, and you get a little riskier. You go into crypto, and then you normally just stumble into this crazy world of NFTs, and it's funny how it all ended up coming together.
Well, exactly that. I think people tend to think of traditional investing as boring. You sit down and if you're really lucky, if you're like, the hedge funds, they make 11%, they beat the market, and they have toasts and celebrations, and it all went well. But then you look on crypto, and 11% is a slow Tuesday, and there's just so much room for gains and volatility, and it's a roller coaster ride. And I think it attracts a certain mentality sort of person, and kind of brings them in, and one thing leads to another. You go from stocks to meme stocks, crypto, NFTs. It's just a progression.
So when you brought up the Bored Ape giveaway, I thought you were going to tell us that you got pulled into the NFT space because you won that giveaway. And
oh man, no, it would be my profile picture, Curly.
Well, yeah. Well, who knows if you still have it? We have someone with our company. He had 2 Bored Apes, and he ended up selling both of them. So I mean, you never know what happens.
It's really easy to say, right, in that position, like, oh man, yeah, Bored Ape Yacht Club, the floor, it's been up to what, 100 ETH? I think it had a bit of a fluctuation when Yuga picked up Larva Labs with the punks. Mm-hmm. When you had that, I think it caused a little bit of volatility between both floors. But it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I totally would have bought that at their mint price, 0.09 or whatever it was at the time. Then I totally would have held to 100 ETH. When so many people have photos of them selling their Bored Ape at 0.1, at 0.5, at 1, at 2. People choose to take profits whenever they want, and it's easy to say, oh yeah, I would have been the one to hold till 100 ETH.
And it's funny too with that, not to get too off topic, but like now we're looking at this space, and people that have like Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs, people automatically assume they're NFT experts, and a lot of them are just people that got here early, and they got really lucky. I'm sure there's a ton that are truly experts, but it's something to think about how many of them are just really lucky people.
Oh yeah, you hear about people all the time. They're like, yeah, people assume that I know about NFTs. I just saw this NFT and I vibed with it. And at the same time, there's some people who are absolutely beyond educated. You have Steve Schiller, you have Zeneca. Oh my goodness, those guys, they sport the apes, and they are just a wealth of knowledge on the space. I was fortunate enough to hang out with both of them in another show recently. They just know so much. But like you say, some people just saw a picture that they thought was cool art. Maybe they thought it was funny, and they minted it out. Who was to know it would go where it did?
Yeah, exactly. When to bring it back to the Goons. So when this was one of the first projects that I just like randomly stumbled upon. I was just doing some vetting exercises, going through projects, saw them on Rarity Tools, and the website branding was like nothing I've ever seen. I was familiar with Bored Ape at that point because one of my good friends, someone else with the company, he had a couple. So I was familiar with their site, and I was like, wow, the Goons of Balatroon. One, the name is just fun to say, and two, this site is like nothing I've ever seen. It's not up anymore, but the graphic of their original roadmap, I don't know if you're familiar with it, where it was like all like I think it was like streams or rivers. It was so cool. And I was like, yeah, I gotta buy these. And I'm the type of guy that I pretty much dive into it. I dive in hard, and yeah, these were all the ones that I bought for opening mint, and these aren't even all the ones I have now. But yeah, I'm sure you had that same feeling when you saw it, right?
Yes, absolutely. So this is by the time we were moving with the Goons of Balatroon project, I was with the team. We were preparing. We were getting the Discord ready. I remember the Discord where it was just us, the founders, and mostly bots in the Discord as we were putting it all together.
You were in it pretty early on. I didn't realize it was that early.
Yes. So I met the team via another NFT project, kind of a precursor one, that the team was involved in. And when I'd worked with them as an unofficial mod to the point where we were really clicking together, we were really, all of us were on the same page. And when I was informed by Mark that, there's going to be another project, that they had something else, in the works, I said, well, I'm here to help you out. I'm down for the ride, down for the adventure. So when we made the transition over, we started the Discord, there from the very beginning. And, the focus was always something very unique. And I have to say, I've consistently and constantly been just as impressed as I hope all of our community members are, because I'm a collector as well. I enjoy working with the team, but I was a collector first, and it's the consistent value that the dev team brings that just keeps me in the loop. I remember the first time I saw the art. So much of the art in the NFT space is it's technical driven over art. So you have, because crypto is such a technical space, a lot of the times you have a developer decides what they want to do. They know what their project is going to do, and then they reach out to an artist. So the art, there's some very good art projects out there, but some of them, it's technical driven, and then art is an afterthought or a secondary thought. With our project, with Goons, the very first time I saw a sample of the art, I was blown away. It was one of the very first projects I'd seen that I was like, man, this art, I love how clean it looks. I love, the traits. It's humorous. It just had kind of everything in a nutshell that I love to look at. It's just always, it's always exceeded my expectations.
And I mean, we'll get into this, but the art for the game, and I don't want to go into it too much right now, that is on another level. I can't wait to talk about it.
I enjoyed it. Looking into it, the Goons was one of the first projects that I got introduced to when I joined the NFT space. I knew of NFTs. I didn't really know, I knew that they existed. That was pretty much it. And the Goons was one of the first projects that I kind of saw and deep dove into, and it blew me away.
It's a fun project.
It hooked me, and I've been hooked ever since.
So yeah, let's break it down for any viewers that are new. Do you, off the top of your head, do you have any early stats with, I know what was it, 7 days was the original sellout or something like that? I believe it was less than a week for a full mint sellout, right?
Yeah, we were close there to a week. We did, so this kind of came before the current, I'm going to call it NFT meta, where everything's whitelisted now.
Yeah.
We wanted, a lot of the time at that period, communities were hooking up their early members, is kind of how it was. You were in the Discord early. The whitelist was kind of automatic. There was no whitelist grind. There was no hoops you had to jump through. I didn't have to get a tattoo and rename my child Goon. It's a lot more basic. Our first X number of members in the Discord, we gave them the Pioneer Goon role, and they were whitelisted for the pre-sale. The pre-sale was more of just, how is this going to work? Do all the technicals we have line up? And so, I think it was the day before the main mint or something. Anybody with the Pioneer Goon role was able to come in and mint. And that one minted out fast. It was a limited number, and it minted out very quick. The main mint took a little longer. I want to say it ran for a period of 5-6 days. Really good, low gas mint, very organic. And it really picked up speed at the end. It was very cool to watch the hype build as more people were taking a look at it. They're like, "Hey man, I just minted the Goons." We're like, "What are the Goons?"
It's funny, little story about the mint. So I was on vacation actually in upstate New York, and up there, service a little spotty. I was at a lake house and the Wi-Fi was terrible. So, and I didn't have my car there because I drove up with friends. I had everyone at I convinced everyone, hey, let's do a really long lunch today over here because it had Wi-Fi in the little village. And I had my laptop. Like, why do you have your laptop with you, Shane? And I'm sitting there waiting for the timer to go down. And yeah, I was there for mint. But yeah, it was very exciting. How many members? Do you know roughly how many members were in the Discord when you guys minted?
I'm trying to remember because we had a metric that we wanted to hit, and I wanted to say, was it 2,000 or 4,000? It might have been. It was somewhere in between. I think 3,000 to 4,000 is what I'm thinking, but it might have even been higher than that. It's so funny trying to think back to how things were so different back then. It's kind of watching how much things have changed and how far we've come, but. Yeah, we wanted an X amount of people in the Discord, and we accomplished it. We were feeling pretty good about it, and it really made the mint a lot smoother.
Yeah, overall it was really good. And the big thing that it got me was that branding. I mean, what were your thoughts, Nick, when you first?
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, not even just the start of the branding, but everything as a whole. it was really nice to see like
even the Discord, how the Discord was put together, and those are the important things. At least at that stage in minting, where we were in the NFT world, that was a big thing. Now it's like it's all like you said, we're in the NFT meta where it's whitelisting, all that stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, I kind of watched the project grow, like branding wise, from where it started to where it's at now, and you know, I'm blown away just with the progress that it's made over the course of, you know, however long I've been looking at it. I can't even tell you, in all honesty.
Yeah, so let's. Yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say let's go into what you guys have now, and the most exciting part is the game. But if you want to bring another point before that.
Yeah, I was going to just touch on, through all our marketing, we wanted it to be fun. You know, the website, getagoon.com. You know, instead of having, like, you needed to know our project name, you needed to know, like, you know, Goons of Balatroon.io, nothing like that. Get a goon. What do you want?
Yep.
You want a goon. Getagoon.com. It was easy, and you were just immediately on-ramped onto it. It was supposed to be a ton of fun, and we like to think we've accomplished that. We like to think we've kept executing on that. And like you say, right now the main goal, the main focus is the game. For those who aren't aware of what the project is, it was a NFT profile picture project at its initial stage, but it was never intended to be that. From our very earliest point in concept, it's been a play-to-earn game. But more on that, we want it to be a game that where the experience is the focus. We want it to be play to experience. We want it to be free to play, and then we want it to be play to earn. So many games you see in the crypto space are just staking simulators or click simulators. And there's nothing wrong with that because we're at a very early stage in crypto gaming. You know, people are really starting to decide what this is going to be and all the multitude of things they can do with it because, you know, crypto NFTs is so technically based that Web3, it really gives you the ability to do whatever you have the technical ability to do, whatever you have the imagination and the skill to do. And for us, we want it to be a fun experience. We want this to be a game experience that you want to sit down and play. You know, we're going to have ranked matches, we're going to have private matches, and we want this to be something that you want to play with your friends. That's the goal.
I just know it's gonna, the level of the game and the branding, and not even going into the art for the cards, the card opening process is that is a sentiment in itself to show how fun it is. And to paint a picture for our audio only listeners, basically when you go in, the camera, and we'll show a clip on screen as well, the camera takes you through, it's like through a bar, right? And then you go through all these scenarios, and then it's a wizard basically at the end, right? And you have all your packs, you open it, and it's, the animation behind that is just phenomenal. It's so, yeah, to the whole team, amazing job there as well.
Yeah, you got your mysterious figure, you know, you kind of like fly through a crowd of, you know, assorted bulls and bears. You got goons. You fly through there. You go through kind of a netted, beaded doorway. And the mysterious figure, whether it's an oracle, a wizard, whatever they are, you know, they stretch their hands out to you. You place the card pack in their hand and it, you know, it opens up and you see what you get. You know, again, the first time I saw the theme, the concept for that, it blew me away. I was sitting there, you know, just checking our Slack channels, and I saw that pop up. I clicked on it, and I just said to myself, "Oh man, that looks way too good." Like, you know, our art team, I always have to give them kudos. Our art team, whether it's the standard profile picture one, the card design concepts, the art for our animations, it's always so good. Our artists do an amazing job.
Yeah, and let's talk about the art for the cards, because that's something that when I first saw them, I was like, whoa, this is just one hilarious. And like where did the inspiration for that come from? Did you guys always have, as a team, you guys always planned on going down this route? And I don't want to say, will we say like they're dirtier cards? They're like adult oriented? Like, how would you describe those?
We always knew that so many games take themselves very seriously. So many, you know, because we're at our base a trading card game, TCG. So many of these games take themselves very seriously. And for good reason. It's a very approachable genre. Whether you started off playing the physical versions like Pokemon as a kid, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone, these are games that people have grown up with, and we are aimed like just solidly at that demographic. We're aimed at the core demographic of crypto, the core demographic of NFTs, that 18 to mid 30s, 40, that demographic. But anybody's welcome. Like, anybody can pick it up. And the goal is to not take ourselves too seriously. We want to be fun. We want to be wild, rebellious, wacky. We want to do all of that stuff. There's so many card games out there that just have amazing, amazing art that's very. I'm trying to think of the right word to describe it, but it's very serious. It's high fantasy. It's the kind of art you would expect. And we're trying to take a step away from that and say, we want good art, but we want it to be a ton of fun too. And I like to think we've accomplished that. And we know that it's not for everybody. The level we're shooting for a humorous, wild and rebellious kind of genre, and we know that not everybody's going to be about that. And we did some iterations of the art, and we took a look and we said, okay, some of this is a little overboard. Let's tone it down a bit. Let's tune it in. Let's decide, what exactly is fit to print, and what can we leave behind? Because the first look at our art, it wasn't the last look. We've always been optimizing it and, kind of looking at it from a critical mindset, because we enjoy it, but we have to put ourselves in the mindset of, others. Who's going to see this? What are they going to feel about it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you guys, I feel you guys really hit the nail on the head with all of that. As a team, the artists, what, off the top of your head, which character on the cards is your favorite?
Oh man. So there's a couple that I always enjoy. One of them, and it was because it was animated so well. When we were doing a little bit of animated card promos for it, was our shooting deer, and it was amazing because I just like the artwork itself. It's a deer with like its antlers holding multiple guns, and in the background, it's what I love about the background. There's just these two squirrels like just going at it in the background, and when we animated it, it was the most hilarious thing. In fact, we want to do some animations with the cards NFTs themselves in the future. At the time, it was just promo. I think in the future there's going to be some animation going on. We're at a very basic stage. We're at a beta stage right now where we're putting all the pieces together initially. But when I saw that, it just cracked me up. There's another one where they're holding a cat made out of cactus in their lap, and then of course there's the infamous dildo, which is a pickle-shaped deer. So there's a ton of good art. But I'll tell you, from just a cool perspective, one of our legendary cards, we have two of them. And one of them is Beastmark, which is just absolutely cool. It's a legendary. And then we have Leroy Chickens, which is a nod to everybody's favorite Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, that's amazing. Nick, actually, looking at one of his favorite characters was, I forget the official name for the electric socket girl. What is?
Oh yeah.
So I forget what her official name is, but at one point Nick wanted to he was like, this character has to have this voice, and you want to do the impersonation?
I could do the impersonation. I just want to say I tried out as a voice actor. I was kind of thrown in there. But I kind of got inspiration because I felt like it needed the voice of the girl
from Big Mouth.
From Big Mouth.
Who was the Lola? Is that
Lola from Big Mouth. Yeah.
He's like, this socket needs to have.
I just felt like it needed a Lola kind of voice, and remind me what the line was in the.
It was I'm gonna pull you in close and give you a shock like you've never felt before.
All right.
Getting character.
All right. I'll pull you in close, give you a shock like you never felt before.
We actually, there was a version of the video with that voice in it. So for those of you that don't know, our team worked on the animated trailer for the game, and that was made one of the cuts, and ended up, it didn't fit properly, but it was. I know you had fun doing it.
I loved it. I loved every second of it. The second that you were like, okay, these are like the voices, like, what do you guys think? And I was like, I don't know. I feel like I should get a Lola thing. And you were like, well, why don't you record it then?
First of all, I didn't even know you could do a voice like that. So, I mean, props to you. Yeah, so Matt, do you guys have an official launch date set or a time frame that you are aiming for?
Yes, we do. We do have time frames. Unfortunately, we've had the entire world is experiencing a lot of disruptions at the moment,
Yeah.
and it really does speak to the global nature of the NFT space and crypto as a whole. The Ukraine crisis, while we don't put any blame on it necessarily, has tossed us a couple curveballs that we've had to adapt to and adjust our timelines to. So we're still looking for a beta coming up in a couple weeks. This may affect our ultimate launch date a bit, but we're still aiming for April, May. To see the product roll out. There's going to be the token launch somewhere in between there. We have Debt Creator coming out very soon. So we have a whole lot of stuff to fill up the void of space, and we have a ton of fun ideas planned. A ton of features to be added together. That's what's so cool about this right now is we have so many direct catalysts that we're able to roll out that we've been waiting for, ever since launch for. Like, it was awesome to get the pack opener out there. It was nice to be able to start showing the community the cards, getting the body factory out there, let people start minting their bodies. Just one by one we started rolling out the features on the roadmap. Some were planned, some were kind of a surprise. Staking, for example. Staking just kind of happened. It happened organically. We're like, hey, that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? So we've seen a little bit of timeline disruption, but mostly we're just we get to the point where we get to add cool stuff. For example, we had a partnership with Vulcan Forge just came up, and that kind of caused us to go back to the drawing board because, it puts us in a situation, well, what can we add now? Do we need to reassess our timeline because now we can do more? Now we can add more. Now the things that we're planning, maybe we can make them cooler. So, it's a lot of needing to be flexible and adapt quickly to all of the ever-changing circumstances in the crypto NFT space. One partnership can completely alter your plan entirely, and that's what's so cool about it. So much opportunity to experiment and try new things.
Absolutely. Now I want to take a step back. As you mentioned, the crisis in Ukraine. Now I know the Goons of Balatroon announced that they're releasing a Ukraine project to donate all the proceeds to the families and everything in Ukraine. Can you shed us a little light on what this project's going to look like? Have the art been decided on yet? What's the deal with that?
So, yes, we actually have some team members that are directly affected by it. Some have been displaced, some are, currently dealing with it. And our hearts go out to all of them because nobody asked for this. Nobody the world over asked for this. And it's something that, people have to deal with. They're displaced. Their lives have been disrupted, their livelihoods, so many things have changed. It's an ever evolving situation. And what we've seen is the crypto community has really reached out, and they've donated greatly to wallets associated with Ukraine. The efforts, some are humanitarian, some directly go to the war effort. You can donate directly to that. They've seen immense inflows of both Bitcoin and Ethereum, and with having a direct connection to it ourselves in our team, we knew we wanted to do something. And so we designed, but we wanted to do something that was more than just, here's a wallet, send what you want to it. We wanted people who contributed to have a token of our appreciation. And so we designed 100 goons, entirely they were hand designed. They weren't minted out in the same process. And, we put them up for auction on our page, and it lasted 24 hours. The first round lasted 24 hours. There's going to be future rounds. We wanted people to pick out the ones they liked and get those bids on them. And they were all Ukraine themed. They look very good. I love them. And all the proceeds went to the charity that we're selecting the charity currently. We're trying to find the very best one, the ones with the most efficacy. But all of it went to it. The primary funds went to it. The secondary royalties are going to go to it. We increased the secondary royalties just a little bit, so those perpetuals will be a little more substantial. So we're not looking to profit from this at all. More so, we wanted to create a cool token for those who wanted to help out.
It's very, very nice of you guys to do that. Now, I need to know, one of the bigger headlines that has kind of taken the reins of TikTok is the Ghost of Kiev, and I need to know, is there going to be a future NFT of the Ghost of Kiev? Because that would be one.
Are you familiar with Ghost of Kiev? You might have to explain it.
Yes, I feel like at this point, if you spend any time on the internet, you'll have, and I hate it because I refer to it on another show as like a meme of the war, and I don't like that terminology at all. It technically is what it is, but I think it paints the war in too humorous of a light. But it's currently, I can't think of a good phrase that I'd like to call it, but it's a well-known kind of factoid from the war that you have. This pilot who, whether he's just a legend or a amalgamation of multiple pilots, supposedly made A status very quickly in the combat. And like you say, it doesn't really matter if the ghost is real or not. The fact that he inspires people is just a cool thing. And we do have Ghost of Kiev traits in the collection.
Okay, perfect.
They're out there.
Oh, that's cool.
And, I don't know how you guys keep your channel as far as language and everything, but the island one
we're
as
fully
well.
open.
We're good.
Yeah.
The Russian warship, there's that trait in there as well.
Oh wow.
So
We talked about that
there was
earlier.
some-
That's perfect.
Yeah, so there were some cool traits, and they were all hand designed. And the main thing we wanted to get across is basically, we're supporting our team members who are, displaced or affected by that. And at the end of the day, it's just a huge disruption. It's a huge disruption that nobody who's experiencing right now, nobody asked for it. So it's our way to give back in whatever small way. And that's why we decided, this wasn't going to be a revenue stream for us. The art was essentially just as a thank you, because we thought that the people who contributed, they should get something cool out of it.
Absolutely. And that's so nice of you guys to, take initiative and really, kind of develop a way that you guys can do your part and help out, but it's not kind of the normal, oh, here's a wallet, donate what you can, and it's going there. There's still that kind of incentive when you do donate.
It shows the strength of the Goons of Balatroon team.
Exactly.
And it shows that, you guys have the values and you guys understand what's important, where everything goes. It just helps strengthen the way that the community views you guys. So it's a major positive. You guys are doing great things, and the NFT industry sees it for sure.
Well, we love our community. We love our community a lot. We have an amazing community. They've matured as a community, not as individuals. They've matured as a community as we've moved away from mid and moved into our production stage. We just have an amazing, supportive community. They're very positive. They help each other out. And right now the market it's a very illiquid market right now. People don't really want to sell because the market's down so much. Whether it's the war or gas prices, everything's tight right now. And so for our community to respond the way they did, it was just amazing to see. And we had even some of the bids came in from our partner projects. Monster Buds, I think, picked up a couple of these as well. So it was just super cool to see the community rally together, because we understand, this is not an easy time for anybody right now. The markets are in a weird position. We're not hitting all-time highs right now. So to see the community, step up and help out each other, it's just an amazing thing to see.
Absolutely. Now, I wanted to touch on that you mentioned earlier, your partnership with Vulcan. Now, they're tightly working with you guys on the release of the game, correct?
Yes, actually, we're going to have Mark is sitting down with, I believe, their CEO for an AMA. Let's see, what day of the week is it? The days all run together. So I believe that's tomorrow, actually. I think he's going to be sitting down with them for an AMA on Wednesday. They're going to be discussing the project, and maybe they're going to be discussing the project, and they're going to have a few more details than I will. I do know that they've got a lot they can offer us. For example, some help with the token, whereas Axie Infinity has the Ronin sidechain. It may be possible for us to use Vulcan's, I believe they're Elysium is how they run their token. They've got developer assets. There's a whole lot they bring to the table, along with just being a very cool company. Where traditional gaming is very leery of NFTs. They've kind of turned their back. Steam, for example. Steam is very leery of NFTs right now. And it really opens up kind of the market for a company like Vulcan to step in and be decentralized Steam, to be Web3 Steam. So it's very cool. It's very cool to work with them. They bring a lot to the table. And just looking at the future roadmap, there's some very cool stuff that I really can't talk about right now, but it's very exciting. It's very
Oh, that's
exciting.
the
Do we
stuff I
have-
want to get.
Do you have any teasers? Any little sneak peek or hint you can give us? If not, no
Oh.
pressure. Do not feel pressured to do that.
Keep in mind, right now everything is metaverse, right? Everything's metaverse. You see a lot of that. It's kind of become a meme. Everything has to have metaverse connections. Vulcan Forge has very real metaverse connections, and I can't say much more than that. But
That is
there's great potential.
Some
there.
goon bodies
That's
popping up in the metaverse.
that's a very exciting tease.
That is very exciting. It's very exciting. Now, I wanted to ask, so after taking on the partnership with Vulcan, what kind of changes and what kind of information have they given towards the idea of the Goon trading card game and moving forward into kind of their take into the game?
Well, we're still early on in the process. I know that Mark has been going back and forth with them extensively. He's been talking with higher ups in there, and it seems like they just resonate with the concept. And like I say, the AMA hasn't happened yet, so I'm very hesitant to speak for them. They may have different concepts and ideas that we haven't heard yet, and so I don't really want to put words in their mouth or make assumptions about how they feel about the overall project. But so far, the talks we've had with them have been very positive. They're immensely helpful. They're a great group of people, a great team. Very exciting when we heard that there was going to be stuff in the works with it. Very communicative, very supportive. So mostly I can just give you initial reactions because right now we're still in the building and evaluation stage. We're trying to decide, well, what does this mean? How will this affect our roadmap going forward? What benefits does this bring? Like I say, it brings token benefits. They have a wealth of knowledge and experience that we can go to. And our team is already immensely skilled. Our developers, concept wise, art wise, we have a wealth of talent. And Vulcan is just a pool that we can draw from as well. They're very helpful. Like I say, I cannot downplay their supportiveness.
Absolutely. That's a great answer. Before you start getting into stuff that might get you in trouble, I'm gonna bring you to the last question here and take us home with this. So you guys announced that you have a partnership with the Secret Society of Whales. Now, I know I'm not the only one in this room that wants to know, are we gonna see any whales in the card packs coming soon?
So we do want to do that. So there's a couple stages that the card game goes, right? Because our game is play to experience, free to play, play to earn, in that order. That's our order of importance. We want people to enjoy the game. We want it to be accessible. So many of these NFT games have a high point of entry. Like you have to shell out considerable amounts of capital to get into some of these games, especially if you get into them in their heyday. Like look at a Axie team, when it was really pumped up. So we want people to be able to enter the game very easily. So we have a free to play option. You join, you don't need an avatar, you don't even need our cards. We have a stock deck of cards that will be core that everybody has access to, and you will earn rewards at a 1x rate. But you can experience the game, decide if you like it, and start building up. Maybe you save up to get a Goon avatar and increase your winnings. Now, this means that we have our stock deck of cards, then we have our Genesis set of cards, and those are pretty much set in stone. But what we want to do is we want to roll out cards that are conceptually based with partners. We've already put out a card that's kind of whale themed because we've had a very close relationship with whales for a long time. I think the card is Secret Whale.
Yeah,
I believe
there
what it
were
is.
teasers in that card. I remember seeing that a while back.
Yeah, that was very exciting. The whales loved it. We loved it. We enjoyed getting it out there because, like I said, we've had a very close relationship with the Secret Society of Whales for a while now, and they're a great community. Our community's bonded, so it just made sense to have the partnership roll out the way it did. But yes, we are looking into cards that are representative or inspired by other communities, members of our partnership communities. It's a little bit further out on the roadmap, but it's absolutely something we're watching and something we're interested in.
Wonderful. I can't wait to see some whales in these card packs.
Yeah, all of this information, everything you're saying is just, as an owner and as a member of the community, I am wildly excited, and I cannot wait for this game, for everything. I mean, for this AMA. I mean, by the time this episode is going to be airing, the AMA will probably already have happened. It might be simultaneously. I cannot wait to see what's in store, and especially what you teased. I mean, that got my brain going. So thank you for that. Anything else?
That's all for me.
Yeah, Matt, if there's anything closing that you would like to say, now's your time. You could take a couple seconds, say what you want, and then we'll wrap this up.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to thank you guys for having me. It was great to sit down and talk to you all. As I say, very exciting things are happening. We're coming up on a lot of very cool feature additions into the game. You know, deck creator coming up. You'll be able to take those card packs you've been able to rip open and actually put them to work, decide where you're going to put them, you know, start theory crafting your deck. You know, we have the profile page rolled out that lets you kind of visualize all your NFT assets kind of in one place, whether it's your cards, whether it's your, you know, your avatars, your bodies. It's kind of your one-stop shop for, you know, everything Goon related that you might have. You know, we're coming up on the beta. We're going to do kind of a staged beta that, you know, first off, we start asking our community to break the game. And then as we move things forward and refine it, just put out a more and more finished product. Very exciting things. You know, myself, I'm part of the team, but I'm also a holder. You know, I'm a community member myself, and I'm constantly surprised and excited by by the announcements that I get to put out. I get to see the announcements first, but don't think I'm any less excited about it myself. I enjoy it. I love the process, the team. I can't speak highly enough about the team. We have an amazing developer team, amazing art team.
I do have one more question.
All right, last
And
one.
I've actually been thinking about this for a very long time, but it just popped into my mind. In the future, after the game is fully launched and all the stress of trying to launch this game is done, are we going to see any physical cards?
You know, there's some really cool potential for that, right? You know, just think about it. It doesn't even have to be cards. Think of the slabs, the NFT slabs. You know, those are a little more substantial of a thing than an actual card, but it's absolutely something we've discussed. And like you say, it's a little bit further out, but it is something that we've discussed. It's something we've kicked around. There's so many kind of ancillary and secondary, like, amazing concepts that you can do with all of this. And so it's absolutely on, I can't say on the agenda, I can't say on the roadmap, but it's something that is being conceptualized right now.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that sounds great. Matt, thank you for joining us. It was great talking to you. I, for one, am super excited.
I'm excited.
Say hello to the team. And, yeah, we look forward to possibly talking to you again in the future.
Absolutely. Would love to be on again. It was great talking to you guys. Again, thanks for having me on. Always love sitting down and talking about the Goons.
Yeah, no problem. We'll talk soon.
Good interview.
Good interview, everyone. Wow. That